The Massey Test Site has been quiet for over a month. After Ship 36 exploded, the entire site went dark, literally. Power was cut off. Repairs dragged on. Cryogenic tests came to a full stop. But now Ship 38 rolled out under the cover of darkness, heading straight for Massey's. Hello friends, welcome back to another episode by Engineering Today, and hope you're doing well. It marks the first major test operation since the site shutdown. Ship 38, which is part of Flight 11's test campaign, is now poised for its cryogenic proof tests. But don't be fooled by its appearance, it's nowhere near flight-ready. The heat shield is half done with exposed gap fillers that give it a patchy, incomplete look. But for cryo tests, none of that matters. The goal is simple: pump super cold fluids into its tanks, test the valves, and see if the ship holds up under pressure. Ship 38 is being prepped fast because the clock is ticking. Ship 37 is still stuck, facing transport delays, and its static fire test hasn't happened yet. That's a problem. If 37 runs into issues during static fire, swapping to 38 won't be quick. The pad configuration is not a simple plug-and-play. It takes weeks to switch setups, fix welds, and adjust for booster operations. If something goes wrong, Massey's might be ready, but Starbase's schedule could hit a wall. This urgency explains why SpaceX is willing to test with ships that look half-built. Starbase's go-fast approach thrives on improvisation, something the rules-heavy Kennedy Space Center would never allow. Even so, there are risks. The mounts were designed for 33 engine boosters, not 6-engine ship static fires. The water deluge system might behave unpredictably, and while any damage is expected to be minor, every test adds wear. Behind the scenes, other pieces are in motion. Remedios Avenue has been widened to make rollout smoother. Nose cones and barrel sections are stacking up, but production is bottlenecked by gap filler applications and Raptor engine availability. Ship 39 is next in line, but it's not even stacked yet. All of this hinges on how quickly cryo tests can be completed, engines installed, and static fires executed without mishaps. But Massey's is back online. Barely. It's still running on generators, and repairs from the Ship 36 explosion are ongoing. Pad A at Starbase is outdated and set for demolition. Pad B isn't ready either. The timeline is tight. SpaceX expects delays, but now the margin for error is razor-thin. SpaceX has already transformed how we send rockets to space and how the world stays connected through satellites. But now Elon Musk has his eyes set on something even bigger, a completely new industry. It's called Starfall, and if it works, it could change how we build things forever. While most companies are dreaming about luxury space hotels and private labs floating in orbit, SpaceX is planning something far more practical. Starfall isn't about building space stations for tourists or astronauts. It's about turning the empty space around Earth into giant factories. How it would work. SpaceX's Starship rocket will carry a set of special capsules into low Earth orbit. These capsules are not designed to carry people. They'll be fully automated miniature factories or labs. Once in orbit, these capsules will begin working on high-value products, things that are very hard or even impossible to make on Earth. After finishing their job, they'll come back down on their own, bringing back those space-made products. SpaceX is already talking to companies who might use Starfall. The plan is to get this business running by the end of this decade. It's a bold timeline, especially since the entire space manufacturing sector is still in its early days. Some experts believe we're decades away from seeing a real, thriving space manufacturing industry, but others are betting it might happen as early as the 2030s. So what's so special about making things in space? The answer lies in the unique environment. Microgravity. The hard vacuum of space and even radiation can help in creating materials that are purer, stronger, or more precise than anything made on Earth. Companies like Merck and Redwire have already done small experiments on the International Space Station. The results have been promising. Redwire, for instance, is looking at several futuristic products. One is pharmaceuticals, specifically creating perfect crystals for new drug formulations. Another is tissue bioprinting, where they hope to grow transplantable organs using a patient's own stem cells. But here's where the clock is ticking. The International Space Station is set to retire by 2030. Once that happens, companies will need a new place to continue their research and production. Starfall could become the next platform for them. However, SpaceX won't be alone. Several competitors are already lining up. Vast Aerospace is racing to launch Haven 1, a small space station that can host 4 astronauts for 30 days. Although it was supposed to launch earlier, delays have pushed it back to May 2026. After Haven 1, they plan to build a much larger station, Haven 2, sometime between 2028 and 2032. Axiom Space is also building a station, with the first module scheduled to launch no earlier than 2027. They've already completed 4 private missions to the ISS, giving them a head start in this field. Then there's Orbital Reef, a partnership between Blue Origin and Sierra Space. This isn't just a factory in space, it's designed to be a research hub, a manufacturing facility, and even a space hotel. Operations might begin in 2027 or later. Starlab is another player with a commercial space station planned for launch by 2028. Unlike Orbital Reef, Starlab will focus purely on research and manufacturing, steering clear of space tourism. Despite all this competition, SpaceX holds a key advantage. Right now, they're the only company with a reliable, proven system to send humans and cargo to low Earth orbit, the Crew Dragon. NASA and Boeing are still struggling to fix their Starliner spacecraft, a process that's been long, complicated, and expensive. So even if these rival stations get built, many of them will rely on SpaceX rockets and capsules to function. One way or another, SpaceX will be cashing in. But the big question is, how soon will all of this become real? Jeff Bezos dreams of a future where all heavy industries are moved off Earth to protect the planet from pollution and climate change. That's a beautiful vision, but one that might take 100 years, if not more. SpaceX has already proven it can move faster than anyone else. First, they made space launches affordable with their Falcon rockets. Then they revolutionized global internet coverage with Starlink satellites. Now, Starfall could be their third act, one that turns space into the next industrial frontier. But will Elon Musk take the next step? Will SpaceX build its own fully operational space station, or will they just stick to the Starfall capsules? Right now, no one knows. What we do know is that SpaceX is once again positioning itself at the center of an industry that hasn't even been born yet. And as the clock ticks toward the end of the International Space Station, the world is watching to see who will be first to build factories in space and who will be left behind. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your valuable feedback in the comment section. This will help us to improve.